Good afternoon and welcome to Rubbin Minds. My name is Isabella Adediji. Now, growing up in the 80s and 90s, you can remember that sports has always been something that has brought Nigerians together, whether it's the great performance of the Super Eagles at the Olympics or even the World Cup, the World Championships. Sports continues to remain something that unites us as a people. And now if you look at the headlines, sports is in the news, but not for the reasons that you think, where you have a situation where the AFN is sending more delegates, more officials than athletes. That raises a big problem. Now, to discuss this, amongst other issues like the collapse of the grid, technical education reform, and of course the tax burden, I have with me in the studio a social commentator in the person of Boladale Adekoye. Welcome to Rubbin Minds.
It's a pleasure to be here again.
So, are you one of those people that has believed in Nigeria's sporting talent? Are you someone that follows sports and the potential that it has for national unity, national pride, and to even earn us?
During the military era, especially during the administration of late Junta, Sonny Abacha, I remember one of the major things that held this country together was a sporting event. We had the 1994, the Olympics, we had the Atlanta 94, yes, I remember vividly. Then, of course, who can forget what happened in France 1998 as well? So, majorly, sport has been the unifying factor among Nigerians. It is the only period where we forget we are Yorubas, Hausas, or Igbo, and we support the Super Eagles, or the athletes that is representing the country. Now, this has been a glorious, these were glorious eras before politics kicked in. Unfortunately, we can see all around Nigeria's losses as far as sport is concerned. Of course, I don't want to talk about the Super Eagles. We know the
let's leave them.
So we know the problem predicament. But if you now bring it back to the athletes now,
the World Championships is ongoing.
It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. For instance, we've lost Ophelia to Turkey. And now, one of our brightest, Toby Amusan, is on social media displaying the problem, one of the problems that we have in this country, in our sporting
you know, you mentioned Toby Amusan and the jersey, and we want to play that so that our viewers are aware of it, because this is such an embarrassment.
Oh, Nigeria.
This is such an embarrassment. We'd like it to play now.
Oh, Nigeria. All the other countries, they give their athletes suitcases. See what in Nigeria pack kits put for athletes. Every year, that's what they collect time. It's one small, like no bag. A country. Which company be this? Iresa. This country will steady embarrass you. Now, can't say many people not switch allegiance. Nah, never ready. I beg you. Nigeria give us one. Rosie is a laugh. I'll put it for video now. Two. Men are the can't more. Two like that. One. Kilele, j'ai boxer si lele abi. Even blind man no say this thing. It go be like Nika for my body. They give us two. Everything two on they say, oh yeah. Competition gear. Maybe say if you sweat like this, the color of it. If if it pee for your body. I beg. Down the water. Wait a minute. They went to bash one. All of our. I don't think what time you. Tomash, bash two. Tomash, bash three. And extra butter. Edge of the round. And in their words, podium wear, up and down. I beg you. Long tight either. Wear long tights, wear three-quarter tights, wear long sleeve. No singlet, no nothing. We don't even get clothes we go wear for dining. This thing they give us now is strictly competition gear.
I mean, this is so embarrassing, especially as we've seen what other countries are doing. I don't know if you've seen the video of what has been sent to other athletes, say, from the US. This is an opportunity for brands to get on. This is an opportunity for us to fly the flag high and to boost morale of the athletes. But why do you think this government, and particularly the AFN, is putting more priority on officials than on the athletes and their welfare?
You see, unfortunately, politicians come on social media, in the news, in the media, and they tell you Nigerians are the one, Nigerians are every day we are spoiling Nigerian brands. You understand? They go everywhere and they tell you, oh, let's try to protect the name of this country and the brand of this country. But we've seen it clearly. If I saw a budget, a supposed budget of the Sports Development Council, whatever the name they call themselves now, it's in billions. So are you telling me they cannot mark a small portion of that, give it to a known brand, a trusted brand, and let them deliver? These patriots, they are putting in their blood and sweat on the field for us to make the country proud. I don't think they know what it takes to prepare for a championship. It takes a lot of dedication, time and energy, resources. And all this is going to be slaughtered on the altar of corruption and self-aggrandizement. It is unfortunate. And we also say the last championship, it was on the case of some athletes being left, while some officials were being athletes being left to the country, and officials were being taken. For what? What's the business there? We are prioritizing foreign trips and vacation to championship, where those who actually need to be there to win medals for this country are left alone. So it's not encouraging in any sense. It's not a point to be patriotic. It's not. Because if politicians are taking billions of naira, increasing their salaries, politicians are increasing their salaries, allowances is going up in billions, and look at the nonsense.
You know, what would imagine that from the last Olympics we would have taken our lessons on what not to do? It's no longer news that a lot of athletes are turning their back on their countries and they're going for greener pastures. And you can see why. If down to their clothes, then what can we expect of their welfare, of their training, of the plans to ensure that they're playing to the right standard when we can't even get the basics right? What needs to happen? Is this video enough, or do we need more people to go on social media? Do we need the media going on a whole campaign before the government wakes up to its responsibilities?
If I were the president, seeing this video, I would overhaul the entire sporting council in Nigeria, down to the teeth, every single one of them. They all have to go. It is obvious, but unfortunately, most of them got whatever appointment they got on political patronage. It is not a competency, and we can see that. They rather prefer to use money allocated to these events.
I mean, you can't be borrowing a bicycle to compete at the Olympics.
Now you remind me of a very, very despicable event.
I'm just trying to say it in English, but are we not ashamed? Like, don't we have to cover our eyes when our athletes have to go and borrow bicycles? Like, where does it get to? Where does it end, really?
It doesn't end. At the end of the day, it is clear. It is clear cut that these guys don't care. We that still have an ounce of patriotism in us are the ones rambling and shouting and feeling ashamed. They don't. At the end of the day, the money has been allocated. Those who want to steal it, they've taken the money away, and they've remitted what they need to remit to those that got them the appointment, and that is all. They are not accountable to us, and that's what is at play presently. Unfortunately, if our president wants to be one that seems to be working, he knows what to do. I'm sure he knows what to do. But of course, he doesn't. I don't think he cares as well. I don't think so.
I mean, he brought back the old national anthem under the guise of fostering national unity. But we know that sports brings everybody together. It's a shame that our Super Eagles are not flying to the World Cup. I mean, if a whole world record holder like Toby Amuso is coming on social media to say this, then what about those that don't have a voice? What about those that don't have a platform? I mean, do we need to see heads roll? do we need to scrutinize this budget as citizens? Who do we need to ask these questions to ensure that we don't just make a mockery of ourselves? Because what you are saying about growing up in the 90s where Nigeria was doing us proud is something that this generation might not be able to relate to, because it is shame after shame after shame. It's a show of shame at World Championships, at the Olympics, and now we, the Super Eagles, are not going to the World Cup. Please make it make sense. Like,
no, it can't. You see, someone said something recently. If you are trying to make sense of Nigeria's situation and you actually make sense of it, then you have a problem. You can't make. See, there is no country in the world that what is at play presently, as far as Nigeria's sports department is concerned, and it will make sense. The Super Eagle itself is shameful. It's unfortunate. This is the second World Cup consecutively that we are going to miss. We did not go to Qatar. And no health rule. Fortunately, the then NFL chairman was even bragging that how come Qatar will host the World Cup and Nigeria will not be there. Nigeria did not qualify. Now we're also not going to qualify as well. It shows clearly. See, we have to take sports away from politics.
I mean, it is really sad that their response is that they gave her a business class ticket, a world record holder, and almost like that should pacify her. And maybe she shouldn't come out to speak about the quality of the merchandise. And even the fact that some of the things expected, the long sleeve, the 3/4, was missing. So a lot more needs to be done. But I want us to move the conversation to tax, because this is something that's been very controversial. And we're seeing them pushing it to 2026 just because of the high cost of living. We're still grappling with inflation. And Nigerians are asking, we've not even finished ensuring that we're doing 111. It's not one, one not one. And you want us to pay taxes. Are there countries that have done this in a more humane way, where we'll tackle this, but we'll introduce the tax in such a way that Nigerians are not suffocated?
Well, if we are being fair, what I would say is that I think the president and the presidency are daring Nigerians. Because if you are elected into office and the day you are sworn in, decided to remove subsidy, all of a sudden the subsidy on electricity also was removed.
The Naira was floated.
Naira was floated as well. And now you are taxing the same people. It's like you're continuously beating the citizens and expecting them not to react. We've seen it. See, Nigeria is trying to copy the Western ways. We're trying to copy the system. They'll tell you, if you go abroad, they are paying taxes. Yes, but the system there works.
I mean, if you are sick in the UK, the NHS is free.
It's free.
It's free, but you can't say Nigerians should pay taxes, and we're not seeing it in terms of infrastructure development. We're not seeing the quality of lives of Nigerians improving.
There's council houses in the UK. You are entitled to a stipend as well in the UK as well, if you don't have a job or if you are in the vulnerable category. Nigerians, they release money for, what do they call them now?
Conditional
cash transfer. Cash that does not get to the people. Sometimes they release 10,000, they end up giving the people 2,000. That's those that even qualify, that gets to see it. So, see, we run a system already based on corruption. The entire chain is already tainted, corruption-wise. Now, you do not feel that you are accountable to the people on how you spend the money, the revenue you're already getting. Now you feel you want to burden them again with tax. For me, I do not see yet, because if you look at the new tax law, I know they keeps talking about self-reporting, and you have to come and self-evaluation now. And I look at it, most Nigerians are not employed. You understand? Most of them are hustling, so to say. So you get a transfer to your account, and then you have to go to for instance, in Lagos, the LIRS now, to explain how Mommy Tayo sent 300,000 naira to you to help her to buy yam and send her so that she can sell in Lagos. And they will now tell you, in that 300,000, you ought to have seen 20,000 out of it. Because that is what they feel. It doesn't make any sense. You can only tax a system that works. You cannot tax a system where the major part of the revenue of the people is indirect labor. It doesn't make any sense. And itself is that there is no incentive for people to pay tax in this country. That's why you have a social contract. Government must fulfill its own side of the chips before people now chip in.
But then government will say they need the money to invest in infrastructure to give us the development that we ask for. And the way they can get that money is through taxes. And if people don't pay their taxes, they can't deliver.
All the money they've been getting since, for decades, where has it gone to? So if you don't account for what you've earned before, how can you expect to earn more? Oh, for instance, Mr. President woke up one day and decided that the old house of the VP needs renovation. Money released. All of a sudden, they felt Nigeria that we needed a Lagos to Calabar highway. Trillions of naira released. How does that? They will tell you it's a super highway. It doesn't connect anything because it's not a priority road. You want to build a super highway. What about the existing roads? What condition are they? Have you traveled through the major roads in this country? Have you seen how despicable they are? Lagos State cannot even fix the Lekki Expressway. So you guys are wasting, you are wasting billions of naira, trillions right now, of the revenue, of frivolities. Of course, the contract for Lagos for the so-called highway was given to Shagori, his friend, his bosom friend. So you are using the revenue as the common patrimony of this country as for political patronage, and now all of a sudden you are expecting people to give you more. How does that work? How does that make any sense? If you want to request for more money, you have to give account of how judiciously you've used the money, the revenue that you have. We've not seen that. Probity, very, very important. But we've not seen that. They keep gallivanting around the country. They bought a new private jet for themselves. They're trying to increase their salaries now. So what? And the common man is earning 70,000 naira as minimum wage. How many states have even paid the 70,000 naira?
Not all the states.
So these are the questions we need to be asking. And you still want to tax these people, tax the revenue, the direct and indirect revenue. Sometimes you wonder how these politicians, how they reason. Do they have any ounce of human blood within their system? I doubt it. What if you have conscience? You are not going to sit down and say, oh, you guys have to start paying new tax. No. In first, you fix the problem loophole that we have in this country. The financial loophole. We are not seeing it. A lot of people have been tried, a lot of people have been indicted. For instance, former minister for humanitarian affairs. She was said to have been indicted. Till now, has she been brought to justice? She was only sacked. What happened to the billions of naira she allegedly siphoned? Oh, so that one can go on the basis of political patronage as her own retirement benefits. And yet you want people who are earning 20,000, 30,000 in this country. The 11% of this country are still earning less than 80,000 naira in salary. We are not a rich country. Nigerians are poor. They are terribly poor.
But you know, some of these things are conditions to access certain international funding opportunities, investments. So unless these things are put in place, these monies cannot be unlocked.
It is not investment, it's loan. There are conditions to access loan. Condition from World Bank, condition from IMF. There are conditions to access loan. It's not investment. It's not foreign direct investment. It is loan. So the question you should ask yourself is, why is Nigerians requesting for loan? If truly, if we are using the money, the revenues we are getting from the non-oil sector and the oil sectors in this country, if we are using it judiciously, why do we need loan? And again, people, they ask you, they tell you loan, and they tell you, hey, we are getting so billions of dollars from loan. The one they got from World Bank, over $700 million out of the money they got, they said, where are they putting it back to Lagos Calabar Expressway. So now you look at it, you're getting loan to continue to fund your political associates. How does that make sense? So these are conditions not to better our lives. See, when the government came in, they said subsidy is a bad thing. It's killing the economy.
And they said they will use it for infrastructure. And I think that's where Nigerians are saying, let us even see what you've done with all the money saved before you ask us to pay more in form of taxes. Unfortunately, we're out of time. I would have loved us to touch on the perennial epileptic power supply, the crashing of the national grid. It seems like it's something that will continue to make a headline. Unfortunately, we can't touch on that. But we hope that the Power Ministry does well for Nigerians and just ensure that you deliver, especially as you've done Band A, Band B, Band C, to ensure that we have power. Thank you so much, Boladale Adekoya, for being our guest on Rubbin Minds.
It's a pleasure.
We'll now go on a quick break on Rubbin Minds. Please don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Rubbin Minds. Now, growing up, there were maybe 4 or 5 careers you could choose from: a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, a teacher, and probably that was it. But now you ask the average Gen Z young person what they would like to be, and you'd hear things like social media manager, videographer, editor, YouTuber, content creator, social media influencer, and the list goes on. And that's the creator's economy for you. But there's a threat, and that threat is called AI, because now the things that you needed human beings to do, machines are doing them, and they're doing them faster and more efficiently. So to discuss AI and the creator's economy, I'm joined by the founder of Olori Supergirl, a blogger, a new media expert, and much more. Tosin Ajibade,
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here on the show. I mentioned you started off as blogging, but you've transitioned from blogging to new media, creating, and I'm sure you've seen the role AI has played. Have you ever felt threatened in any way that maybe people won't need your services, people won't need your work anymore because they can get it from AI?
All right, so so we all know that artificial intelligence is actually changing the narrative in the industry. And the conversation started, bit by bit, but now it's visible, and more people are seeing. I would say they are seeing the possibilities of how AI can actually change, the narrative, also change in terms of creating, right? So artificial intelligence being used in creating content, communicating, even creating local content, African content. You're now seeing how real these things can be when you can even use it to clone your voice, clone like an image of you, right? Even use that to create content. So will I say it's a threat? I would say AI is actually here to help humans, to be better with the content that they're creating. So it depends on how you use it, because for your AI, you also still need to train your AI. You need to train it with words, with how you want it to act, how you want it to behave, or how you want it to think, even on your behalf. So you still have to train it. So humans still need to train their AI, but the AI is supposed to support and also help how you create your content.
Running Olori Supergirl, have you found that you're using less people, for example, you're outsourcing more things that you would have asked your team members to do to AI?
So you said,
I'm saying running your team at Olori Supergirl, do you find in the work that instead of giving certain tasks to your team members, you end up giving it to AI? And has that impacted on, say, maybe how many people you now need to employ, how many people you need to do things?
I think at this point, we've not gotten to that stage yet to say, okay, one has assigned this for AI to do, and they want to assign this for humans to do. We still need humans to do the work that we have, right? AI cannot go out there to cover an event. Right? AI cannot go out there to maybe do an interview for now. So, but we still need humans to do all of that for us. So I think at this point, AI will do its own thing, while the humans also do their own thing.
So the team members, your job is still it's still intact. It's still intact. Okay.
Yes.
What about authenticity? Because I don't know about you, sometimes you're watching a video and the voiceover is very foreign.
Yes,
and there are certain things they can't pronounce well because it's local parlance.
Exactly.
What does that say for the authenticity of our local content that is being put out there?
Like I explained earlier, you still have to train your AI in terms of cloning, voice cloning. There are lots of apps out there, from 11 labs to 18. There are different apps that you can use in voice cloning. And in getting that actual Nigerian or local voice or African voice, it will take a while. Some of the African videos that we've seen online, or maybe you found, or maybe on TikTok, or maybe on YouTube, for instance, there are a lot of AI content even on YouTube, right? Bible storytelling, creating folk tales or local content, for instance, just so that they can actually communicate our stories to people. So with the voicing, I don't think it's there yet, right? But people are also using AI as a means to communicate. So it's working. It's getting somewhere, because people are consuming the same content that they will consume from a human being. Right.
And for those who are coming into this creator economy space, how can they leverage AI for their work? Because on the one hand, they're saying, look, there are certain things AI can't do, but then again, you need to learn this AI. So it's like you are for AI.
Yes. So one thing I would say is you still need to learn how to use AI, right? I know there's basic, intermediate, and also advanced, depending on how often or how fast you are in terms of learning, also upgrading your skills, right? So this is one of the soft skills that is also needed. And at the point when you ask the question about, team members not getting a particular role, it will get to a point where it will not be added to your CV or to your resume to say that you need to have AI skills. Same way these days when people want to employ, creators, you need to have like video editing skills. You need to know how to edit video, on your mobile phone. So it will get to that stage where AI skills will be included in this. And why is this? Is because at the stage where we are right now, we cannot ignore the fact that artificial intelligence is actually changing the way we see and we also consume content online, right? So we cannot ignore the fact that this is also actually reshaping the way content is being made and the way content is being used. I actually use AI, right? I've used it to create my own image. I've done a lot with AI, right? And there are a lot of possibilities with it. The more you train with it, the more you work with it, the more you get better at it. So for creators coming into the system, you need to learn how to use AI. Do not ignore it. Like I said earlier, AI is there to help you. It's there to assist you, right? While you train your AI, AI to also help you. So don't see it as a threat. Don't see it as something like, oh, it's coming to take my job. It's coming to take over my role. It is how you use it that also it is how you use it. That's what depends on how long you can always use it for your work and also train.
Do you think that we're having enough conversations around AI, especially within this creator space, in terms of things like plagiarism? When you use AI, is that now, can you pass it off as your work? If AI writes an entire novel or does an entire video, do you need to attribute the contribution of AI just like you would and say this is the credit of this video? Do you think we're having enough conversation and even engagement from the government to where to draw the line?
So I think in terms of drawing the line is to be a case where it can be used against a person or organization, saying that this person said this without even the person saying it in their voice. That's a threat, right? But in terms of using it further, we can always tell that you need to get to a stage where you can always draw the line. If you pass or if you create your work, or you create maybe video, audio, or text, for instance, you always need to attribute it that it is artificial intelligence.
So attribution is
very
needed.
important.
So you can't pass it off as your work. I would like us to watch an AI generated content, and then we'll continue the discussion.
All right.
Because this October. You heard right, and guess who's hosting it?
Fellow Nigerians, this October, Thatcher will break the Guinness World Record, and everybody must be there.
Omo, I can't believe this one, oh. Breaking attempt for 24 hours. I think she will not sleep, I go. But what did they happen this October?
Now Thatcher, oh, she won't do 150 people make up inside 24 hours, oh.
Not true, oh, my people. Thatcher, yes, BBN, Thatcher is hosting a 3-day festival this October. Everywhere go shake. God, I beg, oh. Make her follow join inside, oh. Celebrity must do my own makeup.
Let them cook. Let them cook. 100,000 bags of rice.
Bags finish in just 30 minutes. People, they chop, oh.
I don't know what was going through your mind as you were watching that, but for me, I was just thinking of how much this would have cost if you had to hire models, you had to hire videographers, editors, producers, production managers, makeup artists, and the list goes on. And you're able to create that kind of content. Don't you feel that they took somebody's money? They took somebody's job. Like
so this is it. So this is it. With the short videos that we just watched, right? There's also a thinking process to getting each scene, right? From the character, model, the way you want the model to look like, the position, the camera angles, the word itself. Like there's a thinking process because, like I said, you have to keep training your AI. So to get the final video, you have to run it like about 6 to 8 times to get that final video. So it is never perfect at the first attempt. It is never perfect at the second attempt because already you can see maybe the hand movement or the face or the camera angle or the text or the word. It could be anything. It could be any error, and like I was saying previously, even when you have your AI generated content, always attribute it to that this is AI, this is AI generated content. So even on Instagram has that tab TikTok also has the tab where you can actually click on it to say this is AI, because you need to, the people that are watching need to know that this is artificial intelligence. These are not real humans. So they trained. The video we watch right now has been trained over and over again to get to that point. I actually like the Jollof video, right? I saw it on Saturday morning after the Ilda What Jollof Festival, right? And it's so creative. Like for the creator behind it to have put that out just 12 hours or maybe less than 12 hours after Ilda broke that record, right? So it shows how creative the human is, or whoever was behind that video would have gone through the thought process of putting that entire video together. You could see the crowd around the pot. You could see the protein, right? You could see everything. So there's a thought process to every individual in that video. There's a thought process to it. So you keep training it over and over until you get to that particular 8-second video. It's just an 8-second video.
Yeah. Definitely, there's almost this partnership between the human brain, the thinking, and then the tools, the machine, the artificial intelligence coming together. Like you said, attribution is necessary,
very necessary,
so that when there are issues around crime, people are not passing your image and saying you're the one who did that, because they can manipulate it.
Exactly.
I'd like us to move to your upcoming conference, New Media Conference. New media is not so new anymore.
It's not. I know,
I don't know whether we should call it intermediate media, old media. But the conversations, I'm sure AI will feature heavily, because this is something everyone keeps talking about. Can you tell us about the theme of this year's conference and what you aim to achieve with it?
Okay, so for the New Media Conference, the theme for this year is a decade of disrupting new media, shaping Africa's future. Right? We looked at this year. It's a decade for us. And so far, so good. New media has actually helped or shaped, not just the industry, but also the people in the industry, from creators to storytellers, the digital agencies, policymakers, for everyone in the ecosystem, right? It has really helped and shaped and even built careers for people in the industry. So for this year, looking at it that it's a decade, we're bringing all stakeholders in. We are inviting all stakeholders to come join us, where we have conversations on artificial intelligence, creator economy, which is very important, monetization, building the Nigerian legacy, right? Looking at it for us, when we started in 2015, it wasn't what it is right now, but things have moved and gone beyond what it is. So we are looking to the future right now, right? So the conversations will move around the building Nigerian legacy, building the redefining the creator economy, and also artificial intelligence, which is one of the conversations that we're having on that day. And I mean, it's going to be an amazing event. And one of the things that we look forward to people attending is for them to have value for what they'll be getting from the panel sessions, right? Applicable skills. Like I said, AI skill is very important right now. It's one of the soft skills people need to add to what they have already. So if you are yet to have that, please, I'm not going to say I beg you, but I think you should look into it, because you need to train yourself. You need to train how to use a prompt. Those are the things we call it, a prompt. So prompting, creating the thinking process. It's like you're the director of a movie, right? So you need to put it in that position. So it's very, very important for us to include a conversation for this year's conference.
Yeah, you can't talk about disruption without talking about AI, because that's been such a major disruptor. Now, can you tell us some of your invited speakers? When will it be happening? How can people register? Give us more details.
Okay, nice. So for some of the speakers who will be there on that day, we'll be having Dr. Lakin Bofa Goodluck, who is the communications manager for MTN Nigeria. One of our keynotes is Mr. Bayo Adedeji, who is the CEO of Wakanow. We'll also be having Malik Afebua, who is the creative for Slick City CEO. Is actually one of the major people who has actually used AI, right? And a lot of Nigerians have seen how he has been able to use that to tell our stories globally. We'll also be having Lai Wasabi, who's an actor and also a comedian. We'll be having CCME, a top YouTuber and also a digital content creator. We'll also be having Mr. Yinka Adebayo, who's the CEO of OMG Group. We're having...
Looks like a lot of heavyweights.
It's a lot of heavyweights.
And people who are actually in the space. I know everyone knows Lai Wasabi, CCME. So when is it happening and where?
So it's happening on Thursday, September 25th at the Podium in Lekki. So that's where it's holding.
And we have to pay anything?
Oh yes,
master
you need to
class?
register on the website, New Media Conference Africa, where you can register. So you can register for free, and you can also upgrade your tickets, right? So you want everyone to come in, learn, but if you want to also upgrade your ticket, you can upgrade your ticket at the venue.
It's 10 years now, it's a decade, and like I said earlier, is it still new media? Are we going to say maybe the 11th edition, we'll call it new media again?
Well, we are thinking, we are in that transition phase right now where we are looking to shifting, the name or changing the name. But at this point, I mean, since it's the 10th year, we just want to do what we wanted to do this year and see how we can actually move forward for the next event.
But do you think it's still new media, or do you think there's another media we're about to get into, or this AI media is now another form of
new media? Right? I think so. I think so.
And who knows what else could come in afterwards. Artificial intelligence.
I know. Look, we can't tell for now, right? Yeah. Because looking at how far new media has gone,
yes,
a lot keeps happening every day.
Thank you so much, Tosi Ajibade. I wish you all the best with the 10th edition of the New Media Conference.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll take a quick break on Rubbin Minds. Stay with us. Welcome back to Rubbin Minds. Now, over the weekend, Hilda Bassi attempted to break the Guinness World Record for cooking the largest pot of jollof rice. And what an attempt. We're waiting to hear back from the Guinness World Record team. And then next month, Tacha Akide will be daring to complete, wait for it, 150 makeovers by herself in 24 hours. And I could go on and on about different Nigerians who have attempted to break the Guinness World Record or have broken the Guinness World Record. And it brings a lot of questions in terms of the significance, the reason behind it, and what it means for the country, what it means for the economy. To discuss this, I have with me a content and digital media manager in the person of Lillian Ubani. Welcome to Rubbin Minds.
Thank you so much for having me here.
It's a pleasure to have you. I don't know if you're following the Guinness Book of World Record attempt for the largest pot of jollof rice that Hilda Bassi attempted, and of course next month it will be Tacha Akide's turn to try her hands at breaking that record. 150 makeovers in 24 hours. When you hear all of this, what comes to mind as a Nigerian and someone who works in this content space, the digital space?
Okay, one thing about Nigerians is we are daring and we are very innovative. I mean, after Hilda Bassi did the 100 hours thing, I was like, oh, okay, she's achieved it and all that. But then the drive, the passion to still come back to do more, I'm like, oh, this is so nice. It's putting Nigeria majorly on the map because it's going to be introducing a lot of tourist attentions, because a lot of people want to see, like, okay, what's so special about this jollof rice? So I would say I'm very proud to be a Nigerian at this point, because, yeah, it is sort of like a rebranding for us, aside a lot of conversations that people have generally had about Nigerians in the past. It's like a new phase, and, yeah, like I said earlier, I'm proud to be a Nigerian.
So, on the one hand, this puts Nigeria on the map in terms of people wondering, okay, what is so special about jollof rice that, someone wants to cook the biggest pot of jollof rice? But then you have people like Gege who are saying this is unnecessary at this time. What's the point of this? Do you... Welcome back to Rubbin Minds. Now, over the weekend, Hilda Bassi attempted to break the Guinness World Record for cooking the largest pot of jollof rice. And what an attempt. We're waiting to hear back from the Guinness World Record team. And then next month, Tacha Akide will be daring to complete, wait for it, 150 makeovers by herself in 24 hours. And I could go on and on about different Nigerians who have attempted to break the Guinness World Record or have broken the Guinness World Record. And it brings a lot of questions in terms of the significance, the reason behind it, and what it means for the country, what it means for the economy. To discuss this, I have with me a content and digital media manager in the person of Lillian Ubani. Welcome to Rubbin Minds.
Thank you so much for having me here.
It's a pleasure to have you. I don't know if you're following the Guinness Book of World Record attempt for the largest pot of jollof rice that Hilda Bassi attempted, and of course next month it will be Tacha Akide's turn to try her hands at breaking that record. 150 makeovers in 24 hours. When you hear all of this, what comes to mind as a Nigerian and someone who works in this content space, the digital space?
Okay, one thing about Nigerians is we are daring and we are very innovative. I mean, after Hilda Bassi did the 100 hours thing, I was like, oh, okay, she's achieved it and all that. But then the drive, the passion to still come back to do more, I'm like, oh, this is so nice. It's putting Nigeria majorly on the map because it's going to be introducing a lot of tourist attentions, because a lot of people want to see, like, okay, what's so special about this jollof rice? So I would say I'm very proud to be a Nigerian at this point, because, yeah, it is sort of like a rebranding for us, aside a lot of conversations that people have generally had about Nigerians in the past. It's like a new phase, and, yeah, like I said earlier, I'm proud to be a Nigerian.
So, on the one hand, this puts Nigeria on the map in terms of people wondering, okay, what is so special about jollof rice that, you know, someone wants to cook the biggest pot of jollof rice? But then you have people like Gege who are saying this is unnecessary at this time. What's the point of this? Do you share that sentiment, or can you understand why someone would think this way?
I don't share that sentiment with him, because, like I said, this is like amplifying the growth in Nigeria. A lot of youths were out there. We would not say that these youths were there because of joblessness. No, most of them were there to support Hilda. Most of them were students, and the fact that Nigerians could come together to support their own, to me, it's a huge achievement. And I don't care what whoever has a negative opinion as regards this is not something I really want to be interested in. But the major thing is, did she do it? Yes, she did it. And I think what we should be more concerned about is sort of appreciating the grace that God put on her to do this huge feat.
Now, I want us to look at the economic side of things. You mentioned that there are lots of people there, they're not jobless. A lot of things happen. When Hilda is cooking, you have content creators, videographers, you have musicians performing, there's a lot happening around, and that all costs money. And same with Tacha's Guinness World Record bid. There'll be models that will be there, lots of makeup products will be used. What is the business side or the economic side to this world-breaking attempt? Okay, so speaking about Hilda's own, it's improved a lot of local businesses, because, I mean, behind the scenes, we saw a lot of videos from, I think I saw something about hiring a chef. So she had a lot of people come together to do it. And I'm very certain most of these people didn't do it for free. So it's improving these local businesses, even to transporters getting to the venue. It helped a lot of them. So I would say for me, it's a collaboration. Everybody coming together for the good and the success of this event. So once collaboration is evolved, I feel like that's all that matters. Like, but all of them working together for this success, for this great feat. And at the end of the day, it was achieved. People made a lot of monies. I mean, the DJs that were there, they were obviously not there for free, even though I know some people must have been out there to support her. And it was sort of like a visibility for most people. Like, okay, oh, it's been a while I've seen this person, or this person is a musician, this person is a dancer, stuff like that. Yeah, it's visibility, and then getting funds, also impacting the local businesses. It was awesome. Yeah. So who enjoys the most? Do you think it's more for the economy, or do you think it's more the publicity for the record breaker? So you mentioned other businesses, but in the next 1 week, in next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, when they're announcing brand endorsement deals, will it touch everybody else, or it will just be the main person, that's Hilda Bassi or Tacha Akide? So at the end of the day, it falls back to what you decide to do with what you got from it. For Hilda, for her, I'm certain it's more than just a stunt. It's more than just publicity, because definitely she'll get more endorsement deals. I remember when I was watching the video, when I think before she went live, there was a video where she was washing the pot with Viva.
that's like, okay, she had to put in her partnership deal with this company or washing it. This is what you can use this. So I would say for her, it would definitely go beyond this publicity. And like I said, it depends on what you decide to do with it at the end of the day, because it is follow through. So I just attended. What am I doing with it? Do I want to? I think for some people, it should even inspire them to sort of go for whatever drive or vision that they have. So it should help people to go for their visions, drive your passions, and see no limitations whatsoever. So it depends on what you choose to do with it personally.
So when you look at, again, the business side of things, you're seeing content creators latching onto this content. You're seeing people who are using the content to generate income for themselves, whether it's providing commentary. You talk about the videographers, the editors, all of them in this ecosystem. And you think this is something that needs to be encouraged, maybe on a monthly business, so that we can see this revenue generated for the creative space? Or do you think these things should just be one-offs because of just how expensive they are to put on? Is this the best use of such funds?
I would say it shouldn't be one-off. It should be things that we'll have private organizations and the government coming together, because at the end of the day, it involves a lot of funding. So once you have like an idea, you speak to one or two persons, that know one or two persons or one or two brands, getting involved, and then getting something tangible out of it. It shouldn't be one-off. Just like we have, I think it was most recently, I saw Bole Festival in Port Harcourt. I mean, everybody knows Bole. I was shocked to see people make it like a festival. People came in from different parts of the world to get involved in Bole. That's like roasted plantain. So I'm like, it's something that should be encouraged more often. Let's not leave it for just when someone wants to break a record. No, let's have maybe festivals, events that will sort of amplify our African identity, our cultural identity.
So we shouldn't leave it to that record-breaking attempt. I mean, Thatcher is attempting next month to do 150 makeovers in 24 hours. There are models that will come there and maybe get discovered for fashion shows, for campaigns. There are beauty brands that will be used. People will see these products. There's going to be stage design, production. It's like a movie, you know. And I'm just wondering, what can the government do to support such enterprise? Because at the end of the day, money is circulating, businesses are growing as a result. And should we always be waiting for that Guinness World Record to give it the necessary media amplification? If there's no Guinness World Record attempt, will people still go?
Yeah, that's what I explained earlier on. Let's not wait for when somebody wants to break a record. The government has to come up with a lot of these initiatives. Aside investments, let's also look at how we're going to be exporting these things beyond Africa, beyond Nigeria. Like I said earlier, that it would encourage a lot of tourist attractions. A lot of tourists want to come and be like, oh, what's so special about Nigerian jollof rice? What's so special about doing makeup of over 150 people? So the government, in conjunction or collaboration with these media personalities, these media houses, should sort of come together and find a way to just sort of export these things. Let's see this as one way to rebrand the presence we already have. Let's see this as let's not see the creative industry as secondary to oil. It's a global industry. I mean, just like K-pop, a lot of Nigerians know. I know a lot of these things, and I've not even been to Korea myself. So let's export these things. Let people know more about this. And I believe with the help of the government, the investments and funding, aside that the partnership and sponsorships of quite a number of brands, this would actually yield a lot of positive results for the country.
And you have some people who are still on the fence, like, oh, why is this person doing this? Why should they support these attempts? Even if it's not something they are part of, like you're not part of the beauty industry, but you see a Thatcher Akide attempting to do 150 makeovers, why should they support? Why should organizations jump on it? Why should individuals show up?
So at the end of the day, it all boils down to whoever is trying to work on these things. Because I feel like when you're having this kind of dreams, you want people to get involved in it. You should also look beyond the visibility, look into conversions as well. So if you're getting involved with this brand, what's this brand going to gain from it? Like this makeover, this makeup that she's going to do, let's say she wants to use a makeup brand, what are they going to get from it? People should look beyond just themselves when they're trying to achieve these huge feats. They should look into these brands, look into, okay, how is it going to benefit the government? How is it going to benefit the country? I think at the end of the day, it will be successful, not just thinking about yourself alone.
So it's more of a national assignment when you look at it, because it's not just about you. You're getting the entire ecosystem involved, and you're putting Nigeria on the map. Are there any attempts that you've thought of and you're like, oh, this would be a nice attempt? And are you looking forward to next month's attempt by Thatcher? I'm looking forward to Thatcher's attempt because, I mean, when we go for makeup, these makeup sessions, there are times when we stay there for about a couple of hours. Someone is touching your face, it's an hour. And I know that we have 24 hours in a day. So I want to see how she's going to be able to achieve 150 makeovers. She's supposed to, let me not say she's supposed to. Personally, it's not something that I think I would want to do because of the task, the stress, standing up for hours, touching a lot of people, and you need to sort of know what you're doing. So I really look forward to what she's going to do and how it's going to come out, And I'm sure we all too would like to see that, because sitting down for makeup can take a while. So this is a huge attempt. Thank you very much, Lillian Ubani, for joining us on the conversation here at Rubbin Minds. Thank you for having me. Thank you. And this is where we wrap up today's episode of Rubbin Minds. My name is Isabella Adediji. Remember, you can follow the conversation online using the hashtag Rubbin Minds. Do have a great afternoon. Goodbye.